What's going on, people? This is Shy Harris, and today is another edition of Interviews with the Rebel. And today I have my man, the bougie food connoisseur. He gonna give you all type of lamb and duck and all this type of weird stuff. Got my man cooking with boy Javon. How's everything going, man?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me.
No problem, man. No problem. So I had to, I've been knowing you for a couple of years. When I first met you, I was like, I don't even know who this dude is. When you started, Brittany first started dating, and I'm like, oh, he's pretty cool. So, I fuck with him. So I had to have you up here, man.
Appreciate that, man.
For the people that don't know you, who are you and what do you do, though?
My name is Javon Callier. I am owner of Pour and Stay Full, or co-owner of Pour and Stay Full. Under Pour and Stay Full, we have three brands. We have Callier Catering, Kitchen Therapy, and Cooking with Boy.
Okay.
Cooking with Boy was my baby that I brought to the table. I am a chef. I've been cooking since I can remember, since I was 9.
Yeah.
So, I'm a chef, certified life coach. Do a little this and that, man.
You don't even talk about the life coach stuff.
I don't. It's one of my loves though, but I do that on my private time.
Oh, okay. All right. So, I like to ask a nice little icebreaker question, right?
Yeah.
Which I feel like I know a good amount about you, but so I really don't feel like it's necessarily a need for icebreaker. But the question is, if your life was a movie, right? Mm-hmm. It was the Javon Callier movie. Mm-hmm. What would be the 3 to 5 songs that would be on the soundtrack?
Oh, that's crazy. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I know you're a music head, so I know you probably got a couple of songs. The songs that mean the most to you over the duration of your life.
Okay, 3 to 5. One of my songs would definitely have to be "The Art of Noise." It's an R&B song. It's a group of people from, I think they're from London or something like that. Okay. "The Art of Noise" is a dope song. It's an R&B song. No words whatsoever. It's just beats. Okay. And I fell in love with that song when I was like 12.
Really?
Yeah, "The Art of Noise."
Well, I feel like that song is that doom 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 doom.
Doom 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 doom.
Oh, okay. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I love that song. That song, another song would have to be. I'm gonna try to go all genres if I can.
Yeah.
Another song would have to be a Rick Ross song. Have to be.
What song? Money Make Me Come.
Oh man. It's a song with him. Matter of fact, a song with him and T-Pain. That's like when he first came out.
The Boss?
Okay. I love that song too.
Okay.
Now that's just going in the bag. Let me see, who else? That's a good question. Third song. I'm trying to keep 3 and keep it simple. I'm gonna go a gospel song. I'm not even a gospel person, but the never would have made it. Yeah, that would probably have to be. That'd be my current stage.
Really?
Definitely, yeah. Okay. This pandemic been real, so definitely.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. I think it's been real for us all. So, all right. So we kind of talked about that. So, what is your origin story? How did you get started with everything?
With cooking in general or pop-ups?
Cooking in general.
Cooking in general. My grandmother. Okay. So my grandmother, she used to cook everything for the family. Cakes, meals. They have something called a tent hall. A tent hall is like a sorority for the community. And it's my aunt tent hall was called Zorita Glam Tent Hall. It's right there off of Church Street across from Metropolitan. Okay. So growing up, they used to have like fundraisers, fish fries, selling yacht. My grandma would be the lady in there cooking, selling desserts and all that. So when I was young, like 8 or 9, every weekend she'd make breakfast for us. Okay. So that's how I started making eggs, making bacon. And then growing up, as I started growing up and getting older, she'd let me come in there and just cook some everything with me. Right. Thanksgiving, Christmas, that's all her.
So did you have when you first started out, did you have like a love for cooking, or was it more so like, all right, this is my family doing, so I'm gonna kind of hop in there?
Yeah, no, it was definitely love. It was love so much. I tell the story to everybody. It was love so much that when I was in 4th grade, we was learning fractions. And my teacher, Miss Belinsky, she was going around asking random people how to add fractions. I was like, ooh, pick me. Yeah. I want to learn how to add fractions because measurements is fractions. So that's how I wanted to learn how to measure. Fractions. Yeah. Okay. So it was always a love for it. And it kind of, it never really died down. I just didn't know how to explore it until I got back into high school. I met My mentor now, which I do the pop-ups, Miss Blunt.
Okay.
She was my cooking teacher in high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, all right, so you said it never really died down. So when did you decide that, you know what, this is a hobby or this is something you like doing your personal time to kind of transition to like, you know what, I can make a living doing this?
Honestly, my last job, just like you working in the call center, I picked that route because out of high school, I wanted to go to Johnsonville, but they moved to Carolina and
Charlotte, right?
Yeah. And Culinary Institute, Virginia was crazy, like 40,000 for 2 years. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I can go to Norfolk State, and school's gonna be way cheaper than that. So I started business management, and I was like, all right, maybe if I can't be in a restaurant, if I can't cook, I can run my own restaurant. And that's how I started getting my job at the call center. I wanted to work my way up into a manager position just to learn the ins and outs of management. But I really like, I told myself, I told myself like, I'm never going to be happy unless I'm cooking.
Yeah.
So at that point, this was about 5-6 years ago, and from now, I was like, I need to figure out how I can get back into cooking.
Okay.
And that's when Miss Blunt gave me the idea of doing pop-ups. And I never knew what a pop-up was until she told me.
Okay. So, all right. So let's go to the call center real quick. I have a question.
Yes, sir.
So did you have that phase where you felt like, you know what, I could stay here and just kind of just keep moving up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I feel like we have to trick ourselves. Like, you know, I'm here. I'm just keep grinding.
Bro, that's exactly what I did. Like I said, I moved up into a manager. Then after about 2 years as being a manager, I actually was put in charge of the ABAY program, or the nesting program.
Okay.
You know what nesting is? It's when you come out of training and you're doing that little transition.
Like on-the-job training type thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was in charge of creating that nesting program. So at that point, they fed me the story like, if you go to the ABAY, there's going to be a direct correlation for you to move up into an operations manager. I was like, hey, I'm here. I might as well do it, make some more money.
Yeah.
Then go up. I was like, nah. After that, I was like, nah, that was like my closing, or my foot out the door. Like, I've been doing pop-ups already for a year at that time. Like, nah, this ain't it. I got to figure a way out.
So what was the point where you were like, you know what? I can't stay here much longer. I got to go up, get out.
At this point, I thought it was a golden opportunity, but the restaurant in Williamsburg, they gave me that chance to do that. So like, all right, there's so many birds with one stone. I can get out the call center. I'll be making more than what I'm making in the call center, as well as
doing what you love.
I was doing what I love to do. Right. So it didn't matter. I felt like that was my golden opportunity, my golden ticket to get out the call center.
Okay. So we ain't gonna get into the restaurant just yet. Let's back up a little bit. So you started doing the pop-ups.
Yeah.
So how was those first couple of pop-ups?
Honestly, I wouldn't have made it without the support of my friends and family. Yeah. Like people on social media. Like social media was huge with those pop-ups. I underestimated the work that it took to do a pop-up.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you thought it would be easy?
Yes. Nah, it's short of. Yeah. Definitely was crazy. And it was really learning opportunities. Like I still haven't stopped learning. Yeah. But those points, like really learning, like, okay, how do I want things to flow? Okay. How do I prep? How do I portion? Like, how do I make sure that this is a well-oiled machine? And from when you place your order till you get your food, everything is smooth. Like it's still something that you're still learning. But at that point, like my first pop-up, I'm thinking, I'm doing tacos. I can do tacos by myself. Yeah. Nah. I ended up selling out that in like 2 hours. But some of my friends actually stepped in the kitchen. Like 4 or 5 of my friends stepped in the kitchen and helped me make things smooth. Right. But from that, it was just crazy.
Okay. So when did you feel like you were starting to build momentum with the pop-ups?
After my first year.
Really?
After my first year. I had some pop-ups that I don't talk about to this day. Yeah. But after the first year, going into 2018, I was able to do like 2 pop-ups a month. And those were successful. If I wasn't selling hours, everything was almost gone. Yeah. So those pop-ups, that's when I knew I was on to something. Okay. I had a good idea, and I didn't know it at the time, but I had a little following going on. So my following grew because I actually used my personal page as my Cooking with Boy page, and I went from like 600 followers to like 1,300 followers in a year.
Just because of the food and everything?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, food and word of mouth.
Okay. So for the chefs that are kind of like starting out, actually a 2-part question before I forget it.
Okay.
What is the type of money, not to get like in your pocket, but like when you first starting out, like what's type of money that you could probably expect to kind of bring home from a pop-up?
That's
like starting out.
That's a great question. For some, it's hard because some people they're good with doing 20 and 30 plates.
Yeah.
I always plan to do at least 50 plates.
Yeah.
So I always plan to especially when I started out. Before I go and bought groceries, I always expected to get at least $1,200.
Yeah.
Before I went and got groceries, and out of that $1,200, I was expecting to spend at least $400 on groceries and containers and stuff like that, prep stuff. So I was expecting to bring at least $600 to $800 back from those pop-ups. I was like, and I told myself, okay, if I can bring $600 to $800, and I can do this in my free, like I do this every day. No reason.
You can do it.
Right. Okay. And that number actually grew over those years, so I definitely was making more than that. I am making more than that, but that was just a ballpark.
Gotcha. And the follow-up question with that is, for the chefs who are like just getting into pop-ups, what are some things that you see chefs making mistakes on?
That's a great question. That is a great question. Something I see chefs make a mistake on with pop-ups. Not branding not only the food but themselves. And that was something I struggled with too. Like branding myself, like showcasing me, my personality on the camera, on the TV. I'm a behind the scenes type of person. So that was something I had to learn how to do, step out and be in front of the camera. And it's still a bit uncomfortable, but that's what people relate to. But also branding yourself and showcasing your food. Every time you get a chance, just show them you cooking, show them what you can do. Because people aren't going to believe that you can cook until you actually show them. True. Yeah. Very true. And I'm like you said, I can be a bit of a snob with cooking, but I like fresh ingredients. I don't like store-bought stuff, so that's just the snobby part coming out, I guess.
So I gotta say this, right? So there's been times where I've been out to eat with him and Brittany, and they are the most snobbiest people I've ever seen go to a restaurant before. They'll be like, "This isn't fresh enough." I'm like, "Come on, nigga. It's bacon." Like, come on.
But we do it with ourselves. Every time we cook, we critique ourselves. So it's it's a habit. Like, if I want to be better, I'm going to critique it. So I try not to take it to heart, but
I hate you.
Yeah, because we want what we want.
I feel
and that's crazy. It's like it's hard to do.
I feel you. Y'all might as well just cook it yourself then.
So last night we got tacos, and we was like, you know what? We can go to places that we don't cook, and we'll enjoy the food. Like for last night, we got shrimp tacos, and she got steak tacos, and they were amazing. They were pretty good. Nothing we could critique about those. Yeah. But when it comes to like steak and seafood, like Brittany would not go to even a steakhouse and enjoy the steak. No, because her steak is pretty good.
So you say you have to go somewhere that the food that they make is something that you guys don't do.
We don't do it on a daily basis. No.
Okay, but it's something that y'all can cook.
Right. We just don't do it. Right.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds bougie to me. All right. So, with the pop-ups, when you felt like you were kind of like getting a name for yourself, what do you feel like you were doing to kind of build that momentum a little bit?
Consistency.
Really?
Consistency.
How frequently were you doing the pop-ups? You said like
once a month. We're starting off once a month. And it's hard because, like I said, with the studio I'm at now, it is like a community kitchen. Yeah. So you have other people in there cooking too. So trying to get those dates, it's definitely hard. But once a month, I end up definitely doing twice a month and just being consistent. But during the weeks, I'm still trying to promote, trying to create content. Yeah. That's when you came in the picture, like trying to learn how to content food during the week, during my downtime.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I know you mentioned before that you were working at a restaurant. We're gonna skip past all that. But, so when you finally hopped out here, like fresh out, butt naked, like all right, I'm out here, like it's time to get it. How was that for you?
Man, so you gotta imagine, like this was last year. Yeah. Last January, pandemic going on. Like pandemic started in March. January, I'm scared because I'm used to consistent checks. I'm used to having money coming when I expect it to come in. So January, it was scary. and I actually did a pop-up the end of January. And like at that point, that was the most I've ever made in a pop-up. So I'm like, oh yeah, this is about to be a crazy year. Crazy. Then February, the same thing happened. Oh, okay. I see how this is going to go. I see how this is going to. But then the pandemic hit, so it's like, all right, how do you adapt? Adapt to the adversity that's coming in from the pandemic? Because at the point the year before, we were doing weddings, like 200 people weddings. We were doing proms. So it's like that was the big money. Yeah. So not only were we doing pop-ups, we were catering too. Yeah. So I'm expecting for our big money to come from catering and stuff like that. And then when that didn't happen, like that's when I was like, dang, what can we do?
So how did y'all adapt?
So a thing that we ended up doing was family meals. Yeah. Because people couldn't really go out to eat anymore, things like that. So we were pretty much doing family meals every Sunday. Okay. And we'd have like 10 family meals a weekend and just trying to crank those out on the weekend. And that was kind of bringing back our big money from like catering and stuff like that. So that was helping. But we took advantage of some grants and things like that as well. Yeah. So
I think we all did.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to.
Right.
It was there, right. Yeah. But that's trying to adapt to adversity. We were trying to figure out how to, and this I was telling you, I'm trying to like grow still. One thing that we had on the drawing board last year and that we actually going to try to start executing soon was doing lunches during the week. Okay. Right. It's hard, and I did it before, like when I created my curry crab cake. That delivery service. Crab cake, by the way. That delivery service is crazy. Trying to get from customer to customer to customer to customer, going from Chesapeake to Norfolk, to Virginia Beach, back to Norfolk. So we're just trying to figure out how can we streamline this? Like how can we make it smooth? And we're gonna try to execute that soon. But that was something that we tried to do. It just didn't work. Yeah,
it sounds like a lot logistic wise.
Right. Yeah, it is.
Okay. So all right. So you said y'all was out here kind of like during the pandemic, trying to different things.
Family meals that brought up something that what we're doing now. We still do family meals, but we're trying to partner with realtors, partner with churches, right. Start with families who have COVID, just so we can get them these meals, right, in their comfort of their house.
Okay. So all right. So it seemed like y'all was trying a lot of different things during the pandemic.
Definitely.
What were some of the things that you feel like kind of worked for y'all or kind of stuck?
Like I said, of course, the family meals definitely stuck. One thing that I thought about doing it before, but it's sticking now, is private chef service. Okay. Private chef service, like this year alone has been crazy. Yeah. Like every weekend we have at least 2 private chef services going on. To where and we try to make it easy for people to where we can either drop off, or we can drop off and set it up for you, or we can just do everything in your house. Right. So that's one thing that really, really stuck. People are being comfortable and okay with being in their house and you cooking for them instead of just going to a restaurant.
Okay. Yeah. Isn't that like, I can say that's like I can say the basics, but like when people first start out, they're like, all right, well, I can just come and pull up and kind of cook everything in your house. What made y'all kind of like hesitant about doing it?
All right, so me personally, when I cook, I don't like talking. Yeah, I be focused. I don't like talking for real. So I personally, once I give you that service, I want it to be an interaction. Yeah. So I was trying to figure out. I was pushing myself to be comfortable with cooking and talking. Yeah. So that's one reason that I didn't want to do it by myself. So when me and Brittany partnered up, she was cool with it.
She can do all the talking.
Right. Yeah. She can do all the talking. I'm cooking. She's setting up, decorating the table, stuff like that. I'm in the kitchen cooking. Right. It's a team. It works. Yeah. It works perfect.
Okay. All right. So I feel like this can go a couple different ways. So I know before you said you don't like to kind of put yourself out there. Have you become more adjusted to that? Because your wife, she's always has the camera out.
Right.
In every situation is like the camera.
Right.
So how does that kind of trickle down to you?
I hate it, but it makes me grow. It makes me okay with being in front of the camera. Like for instance, with the whole Get the Draws series.
Yeah.
Like that's something that I plan on continuing. But we started that last month for Valentine's Day, just trying to get men to be comfortable with cooking and giving them some easy recipes. So I try to be aware of it and just turn the camera to myself because like I said, I'm a behind the scenes guy. So I see her doing every day, like content for herself every day. I'm like, all right, might as well do it. Just might as well get comfortable with it.
It's a lot.
But yeah, it is. Yeah. But in the long run, when I do it, that creates more content for one, and that makes the interaction better for two, and that gets the following up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys, we're just taking a break from this video for one quick second, just to remind you guys that if you're enjoying this video, please consider subscribing to this channel. This channel is all about empowering different creators and entrepreneurs to really live the life that they want to live and make the money that they want to make. So if you like this video, please consider watching maybe the last 2 or 3 videos that we put out, because I know you'll probably like those as well. So before we get back to the video, go ahead and just take 5 seconds, hit subscribe, and you're gonna love every minute of this journey that we're on. So once again, I'm Shy Harris, in case you didn't know, of the Rebel Society, and let's get back to this latest episode. We're gonna like kind of switch lanes a little bit. We're gonna talk about this life coaching thing. Because I know Brittany was talking about it, and I know you might have mentioned one thing about it. But other than that, I don't hear you talk about it. Okay. So what made you decide to that you want to go into this route? Okay, so this goes back to me being in the call center. One thing that I discovered, because definitely being in the call center, it pushed me to a level of being uncomfortable with things. Right. Talking to people on the phones for 30 calls a day. It's draining. Right. So draining. Right. When I became a manager, I realized like how personable I am with people. Yeah. Like how I can make people comfortable, but I can help people grow. Right. And coaching was my biggest effect on people. That was something that I could see people growing, and of course I had to learn different tools to make that easier. But coaching was one of my biggest strengths as a manager there. Yeah. So I never knew life coaching was a real thing, honestly, until I began to look into it, because I was thinking like being a therapist or something like that, and I had to go back to school. And I don't really want to go back to school, but I began to look into it. And life coaching, I discovered that it was a field that all the tools that I was doing there, I can do that in real life. Yeah. So how's that been going so far? I actually did a few pro bono. I had a few pro bono clients just to get your feet wet. Right, get my feet wet, dive into it. It's not hard whatsoever. I like to see the growth, but one thing that I really realized is that there's a fine line between life coaching and therapy. Life coaching is not a therapist whatsoever, because therapist is state regulated. Yeah. So with the life coach, so what's the difference? Great question. So I like to say a life coach is an accountability partner. Okay. A therapist is someone who kind of helps you work through, get down and get to the root cause of situations, right? A lot of people hear life coach and they think that, okay, you can help me work this out. Right. Like, no, I'm the person that I will help you reach goals, right? Okay. I will help you jump hurdles and reach goals and work with you while doing that. I will be your accountability partner. I will help guide you through the points, but you have to be self-sufficient. You have to be willing to do the work. Okay. I'm not going to tell you what to do and how to do it. I'm going to take you to the road and we're going to talk about it, and I'm going to help you discover things that could be obstacles in your way. But you're going to have to do the homework. You're going to have to really work in and do the research to figure out, okay, what can I do to reach these goals and things like that. And while you're doing it, I'm doing the same thing. I'm going to be doing the behind the scenes and figure out what else you can do. But again, I'm not going to tell you those things. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So where do you kind of see that going? I definitely want to combine life coaching and cooking. What would be the combination of that, though? Something that we kind of do now with kitchen therapy, where we're having cooking a therapeutic practice. Yeah. I want to do it with young boys though. Yeah. Like young teenage boys. Right. In the kitchen cooking, but giving them life skills. Gotcha. Helping them discover life skills, helping them really ask the hard questions for themselves. Yeah. And begin to soul search essentially. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's dope. Yeah. Oh, okay. So one of the questions that I've always wanted to know about you that I just can't really get together. Why don't you promote the stuff that you do? And it's crazy because the guy that I actually just did an interview with before we were talking about, I feel like, and not just you, this is like a man thing. I feel like a lot of men kind of go back to like more so the drug dealer, the mentality of like, I'm not going to talk about the stuff I got to go.
Bro, that's
so
exactly,
is that it?
That's exactly what it is. That's and I don't know if it's me being, because I'm a reserved person too.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's me being reserved. I don't know if it's me putting myself out there too much. I don't know what, but I definitely, it's that mentality of, you don't need to know everything I'm doing. You don't need to know all my moves.
Yeah.
Just I know what I'm doing. I know what I got going on. You don't need to know it. And that could be that drug dealer mentality. Yeah, that's.
Because I be trying to understand it, because I know, like, with me, I put a lot of stuff out there, but now I'm getting to the place where it's like, I'm kind of backing up a little bit, but I understand the benefit of putting yourself out there.
Right.
But it's like, also, I don't want a lot of people in my business.
Right.
Now that stuff is kind of starting to take off, it's like, I'm kind of backing up, but also being in the forefront.
Definitely, like, for instance, you're one of those people I can talk to and ask you questions about how to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
I think another thing that I struggle with is taking advice from everyone. Because I don't think everyone's advice is pure and genuine. And
a lot of people don't understand. The issue with taking advice is a lot of people don't really know what you're trying to do.
Right.
So their advice is based on their perception of what you're trying to do. Right. So it's always going to be kind of skewed a little bit.
Right. And I always can tell, for instance, you ask questions.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't ask questions when it comes to that advice. So
Right.
I just, and part of it is me being stubborn too.
Yeah.
I'll be stuck just doing it my way until I figure out how to get it out there. But I got people like you now, so I'm good. You know?
All right, cool. So, what's kind of like the next moves for you, man? Actually, matter of fact, not that question. What is success for you?
Hell of a question.
Yeah, I'll try to come with a good question.
That's a hell of a question. I love that question. What is success to me? Success.
To me, while you think about it, to me, success is doing exactly what I want to do every day and not having to be a slave to somebody where I got to do something or I got to be nice to somebody just because they pay me.
That's good. Being successful is me being my genuine, true self first. I can be a very open, vulnerable person. And it doesn't bother me being that open. That's definitely a big part of me being successful. A big part of me being successful too is making the money I want to make.
True.
I like nice things. I'm not materialistic, but I like nice things. So
I feel like as men, we don't become. Once we have the money that we want to make, we become that full version of ourselves.
Definitely. And I struggle, and I've noticed that over this past year and a half during the pandemic, like, I don't feel my full self until I'm making money.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. It's crazy because I was telling Il last year, like when I was getting my money coming in, my unemployment or whatever, like I said, I felt like I was making like drug dealing.
Right.
But at the same time, I can provide how I want to provide.
Exactly.
Like if my wife wanted to be like, yo, we need to get some new furniture, I'm like, all right, well, here, go.
Right.
Go
right. I can just right.
And I need to think about it.
Exactly. No,
you need to get your feet and nails and go ahead. Go take them. Go take this money.
That's
go have
exactly.
a ball.
Yeah.
But I felt like I was telling her, like, in that moment, like I felt like this is the life that I want to live at all times. Like I want to be comfortable, have money coming in,
right?
So I can, if you need something, we need something for the house, it's covered, and I'm not stressing about it.
Yeah.
So that made me like, all right, this is it.
Yeah.
And now that I've had a taste of that, I was like, I can't go back.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I think those two for me are big, and just going back to the first one with being open and vulnerable. I think, especially with life coaching, a lot of men don't talk about life coaching. A lot of men don't talk about process and emotions. They don't talk about how to reach goals and the uncomfortable conversations. I'm the type of guy that I'm cool with having those open conversations.
Can you have those conversations with your boys?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. They talk about me at the end. They joke me at the end, but yeah.
Because I've always had an issue where, like, I felt like, this is getting completely off topic, but I've always been like the friend that was like, I'll ask you, like, how you really feel about this?
Right.
And like everybody was like, "Oh, well, you good?" Like I'm like, "No. You feel a way about this. Let's talk about it."
Right.
But all my other guys, be like, I feel like all my other friends, we have very surface conversations.
Definitely.
But I'm the one to be like, all right, let's really talk.
So I'm that person on the group chat. Everybody says it's on the surface level. Yeah. I'm the person that out the group chat, I'm really gonna hit you like, yeah, bro, like talk to me. Like what's really going on? Let's process this. And I had to learn how to do that myself at like 18, 19.
Yeah.
That's when I really saw like, all right, yeah, you really have emotions. People don't say it, but you really have emotions, so you really gotta see how these emotions bother you and get to you and figure out how to get past them. So definitely.
So this is something I'm trying to figure out, so that's what I'm asking you. So how do you kind of, I can't say deal with it, but how do you grow when you're the deep friend, for lack of a better, you're the deep friend. So how do you continue to grow when like all your people around you, or all your friends around you, you're that friend for them, but you don't really have somebody to be that friend for you, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah. So a lot of it for me comes with my isolation time.
Yeah.
People could say I'm detached because I spend like before I was even married, I spent a lot of time to myself.
Yeah.
And that was really just to process and reflect and things like that. Because like you said, no one really, especially when you're the deep friend, no one really is going to be that friend for you. Right. A lot of my time came from alone. A lot of that came from me in a long time. My growth being alone, and like really processing and growing by myself.
Yeah.
And that's nothing towards that's not a shot at my friends whatsoever, because I accept them for who they are, and I accept them for how they are. I think that's a part that you have to accept me. I'm introspective.
Yeah.
You gotta respect that part about myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's something I've been trying to figure out for a while. Like I had these conversations where people come to me with real conversations, but sometimes when I come to other people, it's like they give me something I could have just kept this information myself.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of interesting.
But I think, like for me, the first person that I met that I could get that from was Brittany.
Yeah.
So I think you're definitely going to run into like more people as you be.
I definitely get it from my wife, but outside of her, it's like it ain't really too many people that got no more.
And it's not going to be.
Yeah. Okay. So what else is coming up in 2021 for you?
Man, 2021. We're really out here trying to find like a small building.
I know you've been talking about it for a little bit.
Yeah, we're trying to find a small building. Even looked into food trucks.
What's the thought process behind that though?
Behind what?
Trying to get like a food truck or like a little small building.
A small building because we are more busier, and just like how your studio works for you.
Yeah.
Getting away from being home and actually dedicating time for work. And I think that's what's going to help create that work-life, personal life balance. Because like right now, we just run. We just run. So the mindset behind getting a small building would be going there, work our hours, put our work in for that day. And then go home. But we're actually able to do it more consistent too during the week. Because right now, we joke about it, but we get our 40 to 60 hours a week, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah.
That's when our hours really come in. That's when everything really kicks in for us. So I'm trying to do some things during the week to spread that and equal that out.
Okay. So besides that, anything else you got coming up?
Definitely got more GTD series.
Okay.
This weather this month has been crazy, so I want to do some grilling series too. Some GTD grilling.
Yeah.
I know men love how to grill. Love grilling. Definitely want to teach how to grill. I haven't made this announcement yet, but I'm actually working on launching some of my seasonings and rubs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I got a house rub I've been doing since the beginning of Cooking with Boy that goes great on chicken and pork. I want to introduce a beef line. Got a few different seasons that I'm working with. So yeah.
You need to do that Old Bay seasoning.
Definitely.
That was something completely different.
Yeah. I want to do that. I definitely plan on releasing that too. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
From scratch though, like everything is mine.
Yeah, you definitely got to do that. That was it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Where can people find you at, man? This has been a good conversation. Yeah.
Appreciate it. So you can find me on Instagram at cookingwithboyboy.llc. You can find me on Facebook at Javon Callier. Also on Instagram, you can find Callier Catering, and you can find my wife, Kitchen Therapist.
All right, cool.
I ain't gonna tell y'all my Twitter. That's my personal business. It's my business.
That's my business. All right, but I definitely appreciate you coming. This was a good conversation. I definitely needed this to kind of round out my day.
Right.
Get the thoughts kind of moving, circulating out here. So if you guys love this conversation, please consider subscribing to the channel. Please consider following myself as well as Javon. And yes, just stay tuned for a lot more conversation, with creatives and entrepreneurs, just kind of talking about their whole life process.
Yeah.
So you guys, so that's it. So you guys stay safe, stay running free, but keep creating, keep shooting, and you guys have a good one.
Peace.